Well, good morning, everybody. It's Friday. It's Purple Friday in Baltimore for my Ravens fans, as you can see. Um, for those of you who aren't Raven fans, I'm sorry. It's okay. Um, but I want to talk today. I know the government has had their shutdown overcome or stopped or whatever it might be. People have been very anxious about things. Where is this going to come from? Where is that going to come from? What will happen next week, next month? This has been a trying time for a lot of people, and I know as I've been a missionary for the last 27, 28 years. My wife and I have been through times like this, not a government shutdown, but financial shutdown. We left our jobs soon after becoming missionaries and went full time, depending on support of people like you, of churches, and we've had a great amount of supporters. But like Paul, there were times when we had nothing. There was times we had a lot, and it was hard in the beginning. But we have learned over these years to trust in God. We have learned to do more with less, and quite frankly, that's a better feeling. God has provided for us ways to do His work despite our own physical capabilities. He's brought people in our circles just in time. You know, God is always on time, as people say, and we want to remember that. We want to encourage you not to depend on the things of this world. The psalmist would say, "Some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but I trust in the Lord." Well, we can't trust in the government. We can't trust in our own physical abilities. We can't trust in our bank accounts, our retirement accounts. We have to trust in the Lord. Yes, we have these things available to us. Yes, save your money. Yes, work hard. Yes, provide. But ultimately, it's God who does the providing. So hopefully, as we've been through this process of people not, wondering where their next food will come from, it's caused people to give more. Food banks have opened up. People have donated more to others. And one thing I have learned over the years is to giving from your need is really giving from the heart. Anybody, when you have a canned food drive, we've done a lot of homeless outreaches, and we've received canned goods that have been expired and rusted, and boxes that have been opened and things like that. People tend to go to the back of their closet and get out the things they don't like, the jars of cranberry sauce or the can of chickpeas or something like that, and everybody will donate that. But how many of us would donate from tomorrow's meal and say, I'm going to fast, I'm going to go without today so some other folks can eat? That's the real giving that the Bible talks about, giving from our needs for other people's greater need, if you would, and trusting God to provide. So let me read from Psalm 37. This is verses 4 and 5. The psalmist writes, "Delight yourself also in the Lord, and He shall give you the desires of your heart." Verse 5 says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass." And in verse 6, "He shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday." The psalmist is saying, basically, and this is a good encouragement for our seniors at school this year, and those of us, those older who are seeking jobs and careers, those in college looking forward to their careers. Commit your way to the Lord. In other words, tell the Lord, I'm going to give to you, God. I want to commit my career to you. I'm going to commit my education to you. I'm going to walk with you, and instead of trying to do everything on my own, and worrying myself over scholarships and applications and resumes. Yes, I'm going to do all that, but then I'm going to give it to you. We had a speaker yesterday at our chapel, Mr. James Brown from CBS Sports. His grandchildren actually go to our school, and he came and shared, and everything he shared about was scriptural. Everything he shared about was walking with the Lord, your integrity, your character in front of people. And even as he faced challenges, he stayed committed to the Lord. And look what the Lord's done for him. He not only does sports, but he was an All-American high school player. He was in college, drafted by the pros in the NBA. And he said when he found out the failures that he had was because he wasn't committing himself to God's work. He wasn't working as hard as he should, but he also wasn't trusting God as much. Once he started to do that, his life blossomed for him. Not only a sports commentator, but he does CBS News, he does special reports, and he's traveled all over the world. But he's kept his integrity, and he's stayed faithful to God, and God has blessed him. So not that we all are going to be as famous as him, but God can take care of us and our families if we stay committed to Him. And that's the lesson I'm learning every day as I struggle sometimes to get the things my family might need or the things I may even want. I have to realize it's God who does the providing. Yes, I work. Thank God for my job. Thank God for the people who employ me. Thank God for those who help us. But ultimately, it's God. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. The gold is His. The silver is His. The prophet wrote. So let's work on trusting Him today. And my young people, as you're preparing your scholarships, as you're preparing your resumes, as you're preparing your applications to various schools, as you're going around and visiting certain schools, ask them, where's my Bible study? Ask them, where is the local church? Commit your way to pray over your applications and your submissions. Ask God, where do you want me to be? And eventually, you're going to hear it from God. You're going to see it. It's going to come pretty clear to you. This is where God wants you to be. This is where He wants you to go. This is the career He wants you to have. This is the person He wants you to choose to marry. This is where He wants you to live. He will begin to show you His path. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. He will direct your path. Have a great weekend today. Go Ravens.